The preview panel might not be docked in your After Effects workspace all the time, but it has a whole lot to offer. Now, I've put together a comprehensive PDF that covers absolutely every panel in After Effects. You can download it for free down in the description right now. And everything on my website is 20% off for the month of January. That includes my courses, tools, and course bundles. So if you're interested in becoming a better motion designer, definitely check that out while it still lasts. Now, typically I just play back my animations by hitting the space bar or the 0 key on the numpad out of habit, because the preview system used to ram preview by hitting the 0 key on your number pad. But the preview panel allows you to customize what is shown and how that playback takes place when you hit spacebar or the number pad 0. So let's take a look at what we have up here. First, there are just playback controls. So we can jump to the start or the end of the comp. We can hit play, stop. We can jump forward a frame or back a frame. If we hold shift, it goes forward by 10 frames. These are all things we can do with keyboard shortcuts, so that's really not that necessary. If you want to get really efficient in After Effects, you're gonna learn the keyboard shortcuts. Speaking of shortcuts, we have a preference drop-down for different keyboard shortcuts and what they do for playback. So by default, our spacebar is going to give us the visual and audio previews. So if I press the spacebar, I have audio down at the bottom of my comp, so music is gonna play through and we're gonna see all of this random wiggling happening inside of the comp. If I switch this from spacebar to shift spacebar, it's going to give you different controls. So each one of these is actually a preset of all of the preferences that we have within the preview panel. And they're all configurable however you want to set them. So if I jump down to numpad period, that's the period key on the number pad if you have one on your keyboard, that's just going to preview the audio, not the video. So that's a quick way to preview just your audio in your comp. And we can see that reflected right here. The audio switch is on, but the video preview playback is off. So if you just cycle through this, you can see what the different options are defaulted to, but you can change any of these to behave however you'd like. So let's just go back to spacebar and change some of these preferences. We've got video and audio playing. I'm gonna turn audio off for a second and let's go to this one. This is show overlays and layer controls. So if I play this back, I'm still gonna see my null objects. And if I select all my layers and play back, I'm still gonna see those handles. So this is one way that you could actually do screen recordings with the After Effects overlays on. I prefer to use the Cyclops extension. I think it's just fantastic. But if you have screen recording software and you just enable your overlays, you can see it just like this. Now all of this motion is being generated with expression, so we're not seeing motion paths, but if I were just to add some keyframes to this null object, we should be able to still see that motion path as we play it back. So that's how you can display your overlays during playback. Most of the time that gets in the way though, so I'm gonna leave that off. Next we have loop options, which is defaulted to looping through the work area. So as long as it gets to the end, it's going to jump back to the beginning. But I could switch this to play once, and then if I play this back, it's going to stop after it's played through that cycle once. Not at the end of the work area, but at the end of wherever my playhead is. So it loops one time and then stops. I'll switch that back. Next we have cache before playback. So if I were to change something about my scene, so I'm gonna use my wiggle rig controls to just give this a different random seed. I lost my cache, and if I hit play, it's going to have to cache all of those frames before playing it back in real time. So that wasn't real-time playback at all. It was just showing me the currently cached frame before playing it back. If I uncheck, and let's get another random seed, and play back again, it's going to play it back in real time as quickly as it can cache the frames. Now, I have a pretty decent processor. This is a very simple composition, so it wasn't hard at all for After Effects to complete that cache on the fly and just immediately start playing back in real time. But if this was a more complicated scene with more effects, it could start to chug, and that's kind of the default behavior. It's going to just play back as much as it can as it's rendering those frames. It's not gonna wait to cache those frames before attempting to play it back in real time. Next, we have our range, which is work area extended by current time. So what that means is if I set my work area to right here and then I start within that work area, it's only going to play that work area and loop. But if I start outside of that work area, it's going to play from there, then enter the work area, and then loop within that range. So not the work area start, but where my current time indicator was. Same thing if I go on the opposite end. Let's go to the end of my composition actually, and I'll start playback after the work area, hit play, and it's gonna loop back to the start of the work area and continue on through my current time indicator and loop around again. We have other options in this menu though. We could change this to just the work area so that no matter where I am, it's only going to play back that work area, or in the entire duration, and then it's not going to pay attention to your work area whatsoever. And then finally we have play around current time, which is going to give us a buffer of seconds to play around the playhead. So if I say pre-roll of 1 second and post-roll of 1 second, then wherever I place my current time indicator and hit the space bar, it will play for 1 second past it and 1 second before it and loop that range. That is a little less useful to me because I can't see that range, so I will never know exactly where that in and out point will be, but it's an option. I'm gonna set that back to work area. And then next up we have play from current time or start of range. So again, if I am playing back my work area, and actually I wanted that at work area extended by current time, the start of my range on this side of the work area is the current time. So if I play from the start of range, it's gonna play from there. But if I move into the work area and press play, it's gonna start from the start of my work area instead of the current time. So that is some customizable behavior. You can also change the frame rate that you're previewing. So my comp's frame rate is 24 frames per second, and that's why we see that in parentheses. That's the actual frame rate of the comp. But I could change this to any of these preset values. So I could drop this down to 15, and now it's going to play back choppier and slower, or I could jump this up to 60, and now it's gonna play much faster and smoother. So that is a way to jump between frame rates as long as you're okay with that time stretching. If I switch this back to auto and then say skip 1 frame, it's going to play every other frame, dropping my effective frame rate down to 12, which is a great way to get faster previews when your compositions are heavier and they have effects and take longer to render. This is a way to cut the render time in half and still get a general overview of the motion and what things are looking like. Next up, we have resolution. So we're going to preview back whatever our resolution is set to right here when this is set to auto. But we could drop this down to quarter, and now no matter what it's set at while we're working, if I play it back, it's gonna drop it down to quarter resolution. Again, that's another way to get your previews playing back faster. I'm gonna set that back to auto. There's a full screen checkbox, which is gonna work a little strange on my screen recording just because of the way that I am recording my screen, but this will play back in full screen when you have that checked. And then down at the bottom, on Spacebar Stop, this will update to whatever you set here. So these are all independent preferences, but on Spacebar Stop, if we're caching, we can play those cached frames. So let's again just get a random seed, hit the spacebar with that checked, and then stop. Now it's going to play just those cached frames. Otherwise, if I uncheck this and play again and hit the space bar, it's just going to stop. The next checkbox is move time to preview time, meaning as I hit that space bar, it's going to move my current time indicator to where I stopped. If I had that unchecked, it's gonna go back to wherever it started from. So if I press the space bar here, you see that my current time indicator did not move. That's something worth knowing about because that could be useful for replaying the same animation over and over again, although we can also use the work area to set those ranges as well. That's just about it for the preview panel, but there's one more setting that I bet you did not know existed. If we go to this menu up at the top, previews favor active camera. Now, what in the world does that mean? Let me show you. I'm gonna get rid of these keyframes and I'm going to make all of these 3D. So I'm just gonna turn on that 3D switch for all of them. And I'm gonna give them a little bit of rotation. So I'm gonna switch the rotation tool and just rotate them in 3D so that when I switch to a different view, let me give myself a little more space here. I'll switch to say the custom view 1. So I'm looking at this from the top left corner now and I can orbit around with my 3D camera tool and press escape to get back to my active camera. Let's actually just add in a camera with the keyboard shortcut Control-Alt-Shift-C or Command-Option-Shift-C on a Mac. And now that will show up in the list as camera 1, my active camera, but I can change my active camera to any other of those views. And you'd think that it's always going to play back from that active camera, and you're right, it is going to do that because this setting, previews favor active camera, is checked by default, and you probably didn't know that it was even there. But let's say that I was viewing this scene from 2 different views. If I expand this out and I say 2 views, now I'm looking at this from both my active camera and from the top view. So this is my top view on the left. I can see the outline of my 3D camera, and if I play this back, it's always going to preview over here because the previews favor the active camera, which is camera 1. This top view is not the active camera. However, if I uncheck that setting and I make that camera active by clicking on it and press play, now it's going to preview from that view. If you've ever worked in split views and struggled to get the view that you wanted to preview animation on to display, now you know how to do it. That's it for the preview panel. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next one.
Playback Controls.